Howdy from Austin. Yes, we are back at South by Southwest. In Austin, it must be said that there's not much to see or feel of South by Southwest at the moment. This might be because it starts in 2 days as we have our exclusive pre-program, and I'd like to report a bit about it. I have also prepared 3 overall highlights for you. Let's start with the welcome briefing we had here. And we were once again welcomed by some officials from Austin who introduced us again. Why is Austin one of the fastest growing, if not the fastest growing city in the USA, and that for several years in a row? And there were 2 principles that were once again confirmed to us. The first principle is that companies follow people. This means Austin has the sophisticated strategy of primarily attracting people first, because companies will then automatically follow. Due to the high density of skilled workers, of course, due to the search for qualified labor. The second principle why Austin is so successful as a city lies in the fact that it is a combination of rational and emotional factors. This means Austin creates rational factors, rational highlights for people to come and live here. But it's also the flair, the atmosphere in the live music capital of the world. So this atmosphere, this flair, this emotional aspect is naturally also one of the reasons why Austin is so attractive to people. So to repeat, it is a combination of rational and emotional factors. The second highlight was definitely the visit to the Yeti flagship store. Yeti is a brand that is currently expanding tremendously in the camping and outdoor sector, growing incredibly fast, a brand that was only founded in 2006 but already makes nearly $2 billion in revenue. And it was, of course, totally exciting for us to see how it is possible for such a young, new, fresh brand to skyrocket like that. And we were able to experience it up close and have it explained to us. And the first point is, and I will now consistently say, the products are consistently designed with the users in mind. That means when the 2 founders had the idea back then to start with coolers and really break into the outdoor sector, they said they started out of frustration. This is also the guiding motto that you can see in the shop from time to time, because they were personally annoyed that the topic of coolers and outdoor equipment hadn't been fully explored yet. Back then, it wasn't really designed from the user's perspective. And that's when the 2 founders said, come on, let's do this anew. We'll think it through consistently from their perspective and thereby turn it into a successful brand, also in terms of sales. And the second point regarding being consistent was that there is a consistent performance delivery across all products. That means you can see it in all the products when you take a look at them. With the cooler box or with Max and everything else that was sold, you can always see where other products, what are above all the functional ones, advantages. And the nice thing was, these functional advantages were wonderfully conveyed with a quite humorous and specific tone. And one of the flagship store managers also described to us the products are consistent, over-engineered. This is also a kind of motto meant humorously, of course. They are consistent, over-engineered. That means very, very technical, very cleverly thought out, but they always want to push it to the limit so that the users can really get a lot out of this equipment. Third topic, and why Yeti might be so successful, in my view, is also the logo. Because in my view, the logo is very strong, created in the sense of form follows function. That means it was created very simply, very minimally, with the goal of equipping every touch point, every detail, every product with the logo. That means you see in small details on small product niches and details, you repeatedly see the logo prominently displayed, which is of course the intention behind it, created again and again to make it clear that this is a Yeti product. And those are just some 3 principles or success patterns and factors why a Yeti is so successful. The third highlight of our pre-program was certainly the visit to the Cowboy boot strip, Kibun Day, Austin. That means we were able to see how all the cowboy boot manufacturers, companies, and brands stand side by side, coexist, but also certainly compete with each other. That means we had a bit of the Texan equivalent to Adidas versus Puma, but now with cowboy boots, because it was, for example, about the battle between the established brand, Allen Boots, and the brand Tecovas. That means Tecovas is a new brand. It's just about 10 years old. I was able to speak directly with the founder myself, even interview him about why this brand is currently so successful, why he founded it at all, because cowboy boots are not really needed by anyone anymore, at least not in a larger extent, so to speak. And he clearly stated that his mission was to democratize this brand or this segment. That means making cowboy boots available to everyone and not having such high price points. To deliver as Allen Boots does, for example, and by now one must say, there is a significant competition between these established traditionalists and this new brand. Tekovas, but has emerged ankles where people are definitely using their elbows. And you could see that directly in the shop, because at Ellen Boots itself, you could really see signs where they took a jab at the other brand, especially the young brand, clearly competing with them and making it clear, we are the traditionalists, we are the original of Austin. We have really been built up on our own, and over there next door, that's the VC, the venture capitalist supported brand, trying to enter this market. That means you could really see how branding actually works, how branding also ensures that two brands want to distinguish and differentiate themselves from each other and also position themselves in a completely different archetypal way. So a totally interesting battle between these two brands. And once again, you see, yes, you can also enter a saturated market if you have a clear idea of your own brand. Tomorrow it's off to Yeti and to Volkswagen, among others. And we will try to find out a bit why Austin, among other things. It's also called Silicon Hills. So stay tuned and be excited.